Let's just leave my husband out of it.
This love affair. This love affair. This love affair. Oh, my heart.
Soundcheck. In your internet soundcheck. Pick up on your internet soundcheck.
Oh gosh, lyrics.
All right, so good evening, first of all, gents. Good evening, brothers. Good evening, brothers. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
And good evening to everyone in the chat, all the people coming through in the chat. Welcome in. We are, of course, the Real Soundcheck. We are here each and every Monday, 9 p.m. UK time, 7 man, 7 DJs, giving you an insight into the hearts, lives, minds, loves,
7
passions. Yes.
7 minds.
We're going. What's the rest? What's the rest? What's the rest?
7 thoughts with 7 minds, 7 hearts, 7 souls.
Hey.
There it is.
Jeez. All right. That is us, all right, giving you an insight into our lives beyond what you see when we are DJing or playing in your party or in your clubs and events, all right? Salutes to everyone in the chat so far coming through. Please share the link with someone right now. Invite them into the session as well. Good evening to Mad Trini in the building. Good evening, Mad Trini. Greetings to you. Gotta say good evening and greetings to Michi Boo in the place. Good evening, Michi Boo. Blessings to you.
Our mod.
Yes. Bless up, Michi Boo. Salute. Good evening to the Diva Speaks. T. Dot is in the building. Good afternoon, Diva. Says good afternoon from T. Dot Alt TV. Here for a minute, then in a meeting. So we'll have to catch up on the replay. Nah, man. Big up, Diva. For those who's looking for last week's replay, apologies. I must apologize if you've not been able to see that on YouTube. Just been having technical issues. Basically, all of my external hard drives are full up. I'm out of storage, so I've got to get a new one before I can do that. So apologies for the late uploading of last week's episode. You should get that this week, all right? Good evening to Cammy. I'll take Camzy. Good evening to you, Cammy. Much love to you. Good evening to Miss Ray as well. Good evening, Miss Ray. Also want to say good evening to Karen James in the building. What up, Karen? Much love to you. Got to say big up and blessings to Bigger G in the place. Salute, Bigger G. Salute, brother. Salute to Little H, Erica, Theon, the whole family. Bless up. Good evening to Miss Naturally J. Good evening, Jacqueline. Great to see you in the place. Welcome. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Good evening to G-Force, Leroy in the building. Bless up, Leroy. Blessings, blessings. Yes, everyone in the chat so far. Sorry, I thought a sneeze was coming there. You know those ones when the sneeze is... Yeah. So welcome in. All right. What are we talking about this? Well, before we get into that, I got to ask a question. To the brothers on screen, all right? How many of you have played last week's episode more than 5 times? Okay. More than 10 times?
The whole episode?
No, the music bit, the tune bit, the tune part.
Yeah, man. I couldn't even put a number on it, mate. I couldn't put a number on it.
The only reason I haven't played it 10 times is because I've got the track. So I've played the track.
Yeah, the track has gone.
Yeah. I can't even count how many times I played that. But
I love seeing the reactions.
Yeah, me too.
I played the video.
Me too. I must admit, I like watching the reactions and having it on my TV.
I listen to it at least once a day.
It's prescribed.
It's my
with
duty.
With an apple. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You feel me? Go on, Diesel.
Yeah. Salute to Mr. Diesel. I'm the same. I listen to it multiple times a day, to be honest. Multiple times a day. And part of it is like I think it was Butch was saying last week he wants it on his phone so we can just play it anytime he wants. And he was saying like anytime you just need a smile, you just fling that on and it will just bring a smile to your face and to your heart. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've been doing that too, as well as just the dopeness of the whole tune. And
I'm still finding new stuff that I didn't
I was
actually
just
grab
about
the
to
first
say,
18 times I listened to it.
Yes.
Yeah. The pen game on that track everyone's got their sneaky bars. Oh man, everyone promoted the show. Everyone said their own name. Everyone had like a quirky bar, and then if you hear, everyone had like a how can I put it, like a dancehall crossover element with their style, even if it was just for one bar. Whether it's Technis or Meknat or Mekai or everyone's done a little thing. Maybe I don't know if grown folks did, but yeah, everyone's got just one little bar, and I was like, huh? Where's the dancehall element come from? Everyone just come out like that. It was crazy, man.
I think Frick started that with the first piece.
Yeah,
Frick started that with, he said veteran or soundboy soprano.
Nobody asked him how in Guan.
Yeah. And then he ended it with the real Soundcheck quick for killer soundboy. Yeah, man. And then Tech part 2. Take come with it. Tim, when you started, come and touch the mic, man, get bad narrated. And then the dog-hearted, drunken bum, stay clotted.
Nah.
Drunken bums, stay clotted.
Drunken monk. It's drunken monk.
Stay
I heard. I'm not having it. I'm sticking with drunken bums. Drunken bums stay clotted.
No, but there's reference to Drunken Monk, which was a crew that Tech was in.
Yeah,
so
drunken
right.
monk, stay clotted.
You get me? That's a circle back. You get me?
See, there's education in there as well.
Newness. I thought,
raw. Drunken Monk, stay clotted. I said, yeah, man. He circled back. Yeah.
I have to represent, man.
My bad.
How many got picked up on Dave Knight's first verse? Because it wasn't until like 6 or 7 times I listened. Whoa. He's actually talking about what we call the damn track.
Yeah, man, Burger Rack.
Burger Rack.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Burger Rack.
Yeah.
And his flip.
Ribs.
And the rack of ribs. And the way he flipped it with the food.
I'm telling you.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Hard.
Yeah.
And even that's an inside reference because we call it
Burger Rack.
It's the Burger Rack.
Yeah.
Internally, we say the Burger Rack.
Yeah.
And just like in your verse where you were talking about faster than the jet I'm on.
Yeah.
Because only us, we the only ones that know that you wrote it when you was on a plane.
You know what? You said that. That's mad, you know, because that wasn't even a reference. But now you said that it's true.
Yeah. Because you said you wrote it on the plane to Portugal, innit?
Yeah. But that's The reference was about the car, quicker than a jet. I mean, so I'm referring to my car as a jet.
Oh,
you get it.
See, I didn't even know that you wrote it on a plane. I didn't know you wrote it on a plane.
He did say it, so that's nuts.
Yeah. When I was coming back from Portugal.
That's nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's
Wow.
Then I circle back to the plane reference.
Nah, the pain game is sick.
Hence why I said last week, if someone was watching that for the first time, they would not know.
No,
we were not lyricists. They wouldn't know.
No,
they would believe this is. They wouldn't believe we're DJs. They believe we're MCs or rappers or something.
Yeah, coming out of retirement because we're old codgers. Yeah, who said that?
Old codgers, you know.
Right.
Yeah, codgers. I saw some kind of shade somewhere about old codgers.
Yeah. Conversation about this.
And I remember who it was from too, and I got their name written down.
We know who you are.
He gonna see you after 8:30.
No way! Hold up. He didn't. Yo, do that again.
After 8:30.
No way!
That's tough, man.
That's
super
tough. That's hard.
I'm sorry.
That's hard.
We need to have a conversation because this is the second one of one swag. He's
This is what I'm saying.
See what's going on?
Yes.
Levels out
My
here,
man come with a Soundcheck podcast hoodie and just went.
Man.
Let's come with the after 8:30 swagger.
Yeah.
One of one.
That's
Yeah,
all
we're
right.
gonna need to have a word.
double XL, please, brother. Double XL.
Put your orders in the chat. I got you.
I think we need to have a boardroom meeting.
We do, man.
about this. We need to have a
baby.
meeting. We need to have a meeting.
After 8:30.
Someone send an email.
That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah, but going back to the Codgers thing, mentioning no names.
No, we're not gonna mention their names.
But
He don't want
but
none of
who's
that
that on
smoke.
screen? But who's that on screen?
Keeping quiet now, aren't we? Keeping quiet. You're on the guest list for the next event. Yeah. Come on, bring your friends.
Come.
Sorry.
Yeah. Look. We're getting orders in the chat for hoodies as well. Grandpa, look what you started.
Okay.
What you
Look what you started.
Oh, I can't
Look what
believe
you
it.
started.
Yo, Tech, watch out. Muggsy's in the building. Watch out.
Yes, Muggsy. What are you saying,
What's a
sir?
nightmare to get
What?
Salute, Muggsy. Bless up.
Big up, man. Big up.
Salute.
Better, I know.
Marines veteran for real, man. Go on, Muggsy.
All right, so should we get into it?
Yeah, man.
Let's do it, man.
All right, let's go. People, we're about to get into this thing right about no. All right, so some of you, it's probably inevitable that some of you have probably heard in the news a lot of talk about what happened with 5 police officers murdering a young man sometime last week. It's all a lot of people around me have been speaking about, and so we felt it would almost be like a bit of a disservice if we didn't at least touch on that today. So I'm going to be honest and say I don't know too much about this story because I purposefully tend to stay away from social media and the news. So I'm going to be honest and say I do not know too much about this. I've just been hearing people around me. Everywhere I'm going, people are talking about this. So does anybody know the backstory to this? Because I don't feel I'm really qualified to lead this conversation. So anybody know the real backstory to this? All I know is that 5 black police officers stopped a young black male by the name of Tyre Nichols or Tyree. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right.
It's Tyree Nichols.
Tyree, thank you. Tyree Nichols. I believe it was a traffic stop.
Yeah.
And
it happened in Memphis, Tennessee. The young man, he's a skateboarder. He's a young man, really slight build. Traffic stop. The police came. They were really heavy-handed. They were spraying him with pepper spray, kicking him, beating him, and of course, if you're getting pepper spray, you're going to be trying to protect your eyes.
Yeah.
And they claimed that he was resisting arrest. The pepper spray was so overwhelming that the police were having problems seeing because they were so crazy with it. They were spraying each other, and ended up injuring the guy to the point where he had to be in the hospital. And 3 days later, he passed away. So, without hesitation, was what we normally see in America with these kind of cases. They were able to fire the black policemen because they were all black policemen, and they've charged all the black policemen with maybe second-degree murder. I think the uproar is, why couldn't this be done so fast with the white perpetrators, the white policemen that have been doing this for years? This is where the problem comes from. Now, today, I found out there was a 6th officer who they relieved of their duty.
Yeah. Pending investigation.
Can anybody tell me what this officer looks like?
White.
Take a guess.
First, you got it. Yep.
This is why subjects like this bun me. I'll keep it 100. I saw the video clip, and you know, I'll keep it 100. I was looking, but I wasn't looking. But I was looking. I was like, and then hearing them talk. Oh, you got him, yeah, man. I had to run him down. Yeah, you got him, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. I was like, you dirty crosses. Well, I'm to you, man. What's the celebration about? You're cop before you're black, and you're this before you're that, and the way that you're trained, and I'm like, nah, that was too much. But then to hear what followed on, and the guy didn't make it, and it's heart-wrenching. But then, this is the thing. It's immediately followed, due to media, by the outrage of them being fired immediately. So what, are you supporting them? Are you supporting them in what they did? It's bad that they got fired straight away because of what, but they still did
No. It's
what
not
they
bad that
did.
they got fired straight away. It's bad that the other officers, the other times that this has happened, they weren't fired right away.
No, I
In
know,
some
but
cases,
then
they
are
weren't
we
even
distracting the
prosecuted.
fact of what happened to the youth and what they did?
Yeah,
The practice isn't something that should be happening in the first place. It's a traffic
Absolutely.
stop.
yes.
How does a traffic stop turn into that?
Yeah.
5 on 1.
Right.
And
5 on 1.
If you see the brothers as well, they're not little brothers, you know. A
They're-
big man
they're
was holding down the
big
small guy.
hardback.
Grey back man holding
Yes.
down this
Yeah.
guy.
Herculean guys.
Yeah, booted the guy in his head, pepper sprayed him, tasered him. The guy was screaming for. I stopped watching after I heard him screaming for his mum. You know,
Yeah,
sometimes you know a
that's
man
it.
screaming for his mum.
That's
You need
it.
to just
Because
stop what you're doing, mate. Do you know what I mean? Because my man's had
life-draining,
enough.
that's
He's
the-
shook. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently, his mum's home was about 80 yards away.
Yeah,
And he started running towards-
Yeah, he tried to run towards him. They caught him again and had him up.
And he's a skateboarder, right?
Yeah, he was a skateboarder. I was reading something where he actually worked, but he was a skateboarding guy. So he was a small guy. He wasn't no big guy kicking a skateboard. You know, most skateboarders are pretty slim guys.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's just tragic.
Yeah, I haven't. Like I said before, this is one of the reasons I purposely stay away from social media and particularly the news. Not that I'm saying it's good that we are able to expose things like this, but I think for me personally, there is something in black people, particularly black men, being visually shown to be murdered in the most brutally and inhumane ways. And I think there is something about the more you see that is the more you become desensitized to seeing black males being murdered in the most grotesque and inhumane ways, which is why I don't watch it. But I think the more we, like I said, the more we watch is the more it will get to a point where it's just like, yeah, another one. Yeah,
and
another
that's
one.
where I am. I have to put my hands up. I'm numb to it, absolutely numb. Some of it makes me cringe, but as soon as I heard the story, it was exactly that reaction. Oh God,
Yeah.
not again.
Yeah, I was
That-
reading.
that was it.
Apparently, can you guys hear me? By the way.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah,
hello,
yeah.
hello, Mr. Diesel.
Welcome, Diesel.
Good welcome, Mr. Diesel.
oi.
Bless up, bless
You're
up.
good.
Yeah, what are you saying?
Yeah, no, regarding first of all, I've heard, I read something recently this week about with these videos, we suffer forms of PTSD. through
Yes,
watching them
talk,
over and over again.
talk. Yes.
You know what I mean? But in relation to the story, I read something today. Apparently, they were saying Tyree was seeing one of the wives or the girlfriends of one of the policemen
Stop
or something
it.
like
He
that.
worked with her. I think he worked with her, and the
Yeah.
policeman actually sent a video of him laying on the ground to her.
Oh wow.
See, I thought I didn't want to say it unless there was some evidence, but I felt it just seemed too
personal.
heavy-handed for a
Too
traffic stop, exactly, and 5 of them on one.
Yeah.
And especially if he's on the ground and he's saying, "I'm doing what you're doing, I'm doing what you're saying," and they're still carrying on with it.
Yeah.
It's just
It was only, I think it was only when he realized his life was in danger. That's when he got up and ran, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, what he should, you know.
Well, what else would you do?
We're gonna do, of
Imagine
course.
you're in that situation, and it's got me thinking of it. I was thinking today, as people around me were talking about this, I found myself thinking, what would I do if that was me? Because, and the reason I have to think that is because it could well be me. It could be any one of us. Find ourselves in that situation. This is not the first time something like this has happened, and unfortunately, I think it's safe to say it probably won't be the last. So it could be any one of us. What would we do? I felt that I would, at some point, I would comply, and then if I'm complying and I'm still being beaten on like that, and I felt like if it becomes clear to me that compliance is not going to save me, or compliance is not going to stop what is happening to me, then I feel I would switch into survival mode, and I would do fight or flight, and I would do whatever. I would do whatever, and I mean, I literally mean whatever.
I have never been. I never set foot on that soil, and I know from documentaries, family talking, and everything else, the way that we know American police officers and see them or portray them is exactly how they are. They are tough. They're hard. They're borderline military. They don't give a damn. They talk like hards to you. Correct me if I'm wrong, grown folks. You know what I mean? Compared to what we know over here, where you can look a bully boy in him face and tell him go suck his something, and it ain't. You know what I mean? It's an argument.
Don't do that in New York.
Right. That's
don't
what
do
I'm
that
saying.
in New York.
This is what I'm saying. It's a different thing. So as much as you're saying fight or flight or whatever, if I was over there on that thing and the guy said lay on the floor, I'm laying on the floor. I'm not getting up. I know what you lot are like. George Floyd, King, whatever, everyone. In my head, I'm staying on the floor. I'm staying on the floor, I'm curling up, and I'm not moving.
This is the thing, though. People have complied, and they still end up in a...
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
But
So it's a
getting
bit of
up
a- I know what you're
against
saying.
5 officers, getting up and saying, what? To 5 officers? Nah, I'm on the
No,
floor.
I think you would.
I would. He did that.
Yeah.
He got up and ran.
But he got up and run. That's what I'm trying to say. I would have stayed on the floor.
But you got to think about it, Butch. This is a young guy being beat up by 5 people to the point where he's scared for his life. He knows if he lays there any longer, he definitely is going to be dead. I mean, I'm not saying he was.
No,
right.
I understand, but Croc opened it up to all of us what we would do.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
my mind, I'm not the fastest guy in the world. So I'm thinking, even if I take flight, it's 5 guns.
Yeah.
There's 5 guns. So what's the point in running? Let me curl up on the floor and start apologizing. Oh, sorry, officer. Oh, I didn't mean to, man. What shall I do next? I'm sorry. Play pussy. Sorry to swear. Play pussy like that. I'm sorry. That's what it is. That's my thing,
Playing
man.
pussy didn't help him, though, did it? Either way, you could
it was
see
just getting
from how
worse.
this story went, whether he goes left or right, it's going to be the same result, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If he
this
stays
wasn't
on
The time
floor-
they killed that autistic guy. Do you remember that story? I'm sure that was last year. It was
I
either
remember that, yeah.
22 or 21, and it was a teenage autistic guy, or early 20s. He was young, black youth, and basically, obviously, he's severely autistic, and they're giving him instructions, and because he's not complying with the instructions they're giving him, he was unarmed. You get me? He had his hands up. I'm sure he was sat on the floor.
I think I saw
Because they
that.
were saying lie down, lie down, lie down, and he wasn't, complying. They shot him and killed him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Butch, would it make a difference to you if what was happening to you, if that happened and it wasn't police officers? Would it make any difference whether they were or weren't police officers as to how you feel you would react when you said you would just lay there and play that role?
Police officers without a gun or 5, I don't know, guys standing over me.
Yeah.
That's when my fight or flight says, if I'm going out, I'm going out. When are you coming with me?
Right,
'Cause
so
it's
it makes a difference if it's police officers
with guns.
Right. Okay. So you're assuming that the guys that don't have gun that are over you, they don't. We're assuming that
This
they
is
don't
it.
have. They
this
don't
is
have
what
guns.
I'm saying. But I know a American police officer is strapped
and ready.
Yeah.
and ready.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned, they're kind of their style is military. I saw a post this week, talking about the American budget for policing is the 3rd highest in the world amongst military spending. So you imagine, like the US spend the most on military, then China, then the US spend the next highest budget is US policing. So they spend more on policing than other countries spend on their
Spend on military. Yeah.
And just look, hold on, it's 1 second. 118.8 billion they spend on their police. That's more
Billion,
than the next number down from that is India. They spend 71 billion on their military, never mind policing. So that you get me. Look at that jump from 71 billion to 118 billion. That's the next one up, and that's just their police force. Never mind the military.
I think it seems just from the conversations we've been having in. Obviously, none of us were there, and the information is still coming out. And and taking what we see in the media with a pinch of salt. All that being said, I think it's fair to say that this was not policing. This was something else. This was personal, and it's what I'm hearing. It sounds like it was just a straight execution, really, not policing. Policing is one thing. This was not that. There are standards and expectations and whatever with policing. This wasn't that.
It seemed like a vendetta at some point, but also what kind of gets to me sometimes is when people are asking, "Why am I being arrested?" and they don't get an answer.
And they don't get an answer.
They don't get. It's just put your hands behind you. Put your hands behind. What did I do wrong? Put your hands behind. And you just get the backwards and forwards. So you don't actually get to. Some people will fight or flight because they realize, well, you're not telling me why, and so it means you've got something else up your sleeve. I'm gone.
And you see what you're saying. Whereas over here, you could turn around to a police officer over here. Under what section? Tell me, under what section am I breaking the law before you even come into my house or whatever it is? You can ask that question by law. Citizens' rights. They need to say to you, section 12, breach of the peace, section 9, whatever. They need to tell you what they're going to arrest you for.
But you only got that bandwidth to say that because they're not armed, right?
Yeah, because
if they were armed, you wouldn't be asking no questions.
Well, you got a right to ask anyway because you got the citizens' rights. You say, what have I done? What crime have I committed? What law have I broken? Because if you're completely unaware, when they read you your rights, you need to be I'm arresting you due to a breach of the peace, section under what law, under whatever. So then when you go into the office and you go to the desk sergeant has to repeat the exact same thing, word for word. If the desk sergeant don't know what you're being brought in for and they say something else, case bust. That's it. It's finished. But you see how quick off the top of my head I know that. Over there, different things.
So two things. One, they're supposed to do the same thing in America. You can ask. They're supposed to comply. Now, whether they do it or not, that's a whole different thing. The second thing is, Butch, you want to tell us about your experience with all of this? Because you know a whole lot about how that thing goes.
Paralegal stuff.
No, it's not even a legal thing or whatever. It's when you're on road and you're doing what you're doing, you get to meet other people. And then when other people, you're chopping it up with man them, or when you're young or whatever, don't let boy them talk to you like that. Say this, say that. When a man told me we were on the bus, the man told me about the writ of habeas corpus. I was like, what's that? He goes, you can. When you get to the desk sergeant, say I want the full extended version of the writ of habeas corpus in my cell now. And I need to read it, and you're allowed to get a copy of it to read through to know exactly what laws has been broken and your rights. So when I learned that, then it's a different thing. But people don't share this knowledge.
Let's go through.
And Kamsi have just said about coaching children, letting children know.
Well, as you mentioned that, let's look at some of the comments that people have been making in the chat before we continue with this. So G4 says, aren't watching the video. Some Twitter folks on the tip of it must be black on black crime, and how can't it be? How can it be racist? Many don't understand that they are part of a system that has institutional racism. Sorry. Quite a few people have said that they could not watch the video. Karen James said it's so sad that there are no lessons. That still no lessons have been learned from George Floyd. G-Force also said he's not going to watch the video because there's too much trauma involved with that. Also, Laney J says, good evening, Laney J also says, I refuse to watch the video. It's too heartbreaking. Let me see. Oh gosh, somebody help me out of here if they can, because there's a whole heap of messages.
There's one from Muggsy. One from Muggsy. That's the question.
Just ask the question. Third one.
Right, got it. Question: what is the split between white American cops to cops of color? And what's the increase in the numbers since Rodney King? All right, can anyone do a fact check on that? When you say a split in the numbers and an increase in the numbers of, I guess, black policing, I guess Muggs is asking, since Rodney King, which Rodney King was 80, what was that, 4, something like that? 84?
4, it
was about 84, I think it was.
Yeah, around that, yeah. Around that. Yeah,
only
but
survived.
pertaining to what though? What would that? I'm just trying to work out what.
Yeah, me
What
too.
is
I'm
The
not
LA
sure.
riots was 92. Was it after the LA riots? Sorry,
caused the
Rodney
LA
King
riots, didn't
kicked
it?
off the LA riots, didn't it?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, so it was 92.
92.
Oh,
Sorry.
92.
Sorry.
Yeah. The
So,
other one was the Watts. You're on about the Watts riots. That was in the 80s, wasn't it?
oh, yeah, sorry. I'm getting mixed. Yeah, sorry. My bad. I'm getting mixed up with the two. So, I don't know. I don't have any stats. I don't know if anyone can quickly do a quick search on the stats. I'm not sure what the significance of that is, though, Muggsy. Question to the guys on screen and maybe the people in the chat on this is what do you think do you think that this will stop, or do you think there is anything, what do you think will stop? What is the solution to this in terms of this not happening?
One solution I've heard is that everybody should get life insurance.
And
Not a
what?
solution.
That's
not a solution, really,
standard.
is
It's not a
Because
solution.
The companies that have to pay out that
It's
would
not a
make sure
solution,
that,
but it makes
there were
sense.
changes.
Yeah.
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 You know what?
The money.
Yeah.
The money
You know
will
what?
You know
start
what?
to speak.
It's a good point, you know.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that. Yeah,
it's a good
that's
point.
clever.
It is.
Yeah. If you're going to be paying out like millions of pounds every time someone gets killed and kicked to death by a copper,
Yeah.
all of a sudden,
Yeah. Yeah.
you've got a value.
Hurt their pockets.
Yeah.
There might be some, sort of latching on, so the premiums might start to go up for certain demographics.
Of
But
course.
They will go up for they will go up for us because as a means of deterring us
Right.
from
To
taking out
take
life
out a
insurance.
policy.
Yeah,
Possibly, that's a possibility.
but it's an interesting angle
Yeah,
Definitely.
very interesting.
to hit them in their pockets. It's an interesting angle. But you were shaking your head.
There is no solution.
Well, there is a solution, but it would be very
there
hard
is
to
no
implement.
solution. There's no solution in American policing changing. Really?
I agree.
We-
What it's based on
Go on.
and where it come from, it's doing what it's always done. If you think about, from the slave trade days, you get me, the policeman is just a new version of those who would chase down
An overseer.
Slave catcher.
Overseer.
Overseer.
Overseer,
Officer.
officer,
Yeah.
officer.
Exactly. So it can't change because that's what it's based on. The fundamentals of it is based on keeping these people in line, and if they step out of line and don't comply, you kill them. And that's what it is. Imagine the police officer, a man. We were talking about this the other day. A man can run away from the police. A policeman can say to him, "Stop." He doesn't know what he's done. All he's saying is stop. That man could be totally innocent. If he turns his back and runs, the man can shoot him in his back 44 times. Do you get what I'm saying? He's not running towards him. He's not causing a threat. If he ran towards him and he's causing a threat, I understand. It's not right. Put one in his leg and put him down. Don't shoot him in his chest 8 times. This man's running away from him, and you're going to kill him.
It's ego.
That just shows that the agenda is to kill. Because there's no threat. He's running away.
Or the programming.
You'd rather
programming.
him dead than get away for whatever it is you think he's done. You'd rather him
What I
die.
would do as well is question the selection processes that you have choosing the police, because as a police officer, as a person in power, they should be held at a higher standard than everybody else. You understand? So in an ideal world, do you know what I mean? So therefore, for somebody to shoot somebody in the back while they're running away, that's a cold-hearted person. That's not the kind of person that should be there to protect and to serve. You know what I mean? That's not protecting and serving anything.
In
And
an ideal
my understanding
world.
of the whole, pardon? That's what I'm saying. In an
Yeah,
ideal
yeah.
world, do you know what I mean? But that's it. That you're hearing about these 5 police officers killed this person. I heard about another police officer in the UK that was done for multiple rapes. Come out this week.
Mate,
And-
And he
You know
was
what I'm
never
saying?
vetted. If I remember correctly, he was never vetted. He
You know what
actually
I
got
mean?
in. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
You know what I mean? To be a
and it
police
shouldn't even
officer,
be in
you
an
shouldn't be
ideal
like
world.
you shouldn't be going into like a Star's paper shop and buying a lottery ticket and become a cop. You know what I mean? You should be vetted like a Ross because you have a lot of power, and if you're a certain mentality, you're going to wield it, and they do, and that's this is what happens. This is the
they're
result of it.
also
You know what I mean?
desperate. Remember when the London recent riots come on? They actually had to put out the stats and say that we were underwhelmed. We were overwhelmed when London rose up and said, nah,
Nah.
what are you doing?
Right.
They
And on that point,
they only had 11,000 cops like to call. That was it.
on that point, Butch, or kind of slightly connected to that point, I'm gonna put up a point, if I can find it, that G-Force made, which was this on screen now: more black people to take up arms in the USA. He goes on to say it's not a solution, but it is an option.
I think people are taking that option.
They already have.
They have. There's a lot of black people, even the ones that I follow and watch on the internet, that are protecting their homes and protecting their land.
Yeah.
They're using their amendment and saying, you can carry, I've got the right to carry. This is
Yeah.
my land, my property, and I've got the right to defend it. And I will do exactly what you would do to your property. I'm allowed to do it as well.
I've seen a
lot
couple
more.
of sketches on that.
Yeah.
Where like you see a lot of black people go and join the NRA and go to the rifle ranges and all that kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the NRA like, what? Wait a minute.
Because
When they see
they're
little Ray
expecting,
pull up with an AR-15, you know what I mean? All of a sudden,
but they're expecting
Yeah, also that's not what
our
they meant.
community just to do it illegally all the time, innit? They're not expecting people going out there to get their license, to get their proper carrying license. Like, I can go to the shop with this thing on my hip, and I'm allowed to do
Or
so.
even over your shoulder. I saw a video before. It was like there was about 6 black men walking into a shop. I think it was like New Orleans or somewhere.
Yeah.
And the man was strapped. They had like, you get me, proper automatic weapons over their shoulder, not even cocked, big
Yeah.
guns.
yeah.
I've got an open carry license. What?
Yeah,
I
man.
think.
Yeah.
When I was in
that
Texas, mate,
also-
people just walking around with gun on the hip.
Yeah.
Rags.
You have
If
that in
I'm in
Atlanta
rags.
as well. Each time I've been to Atlanta, it's an open carry state. So you see guys just like at Burger King sitting there with their gun on the table with their family,
Just in case it
like
pops up.
basically, just literally just out shopping with their family
Yeah,
in the
man.
mall, and
This
they
whoppers
got
start kicking.
Yeah, they got big guns sit down on the table with their partner and their pitney.
Come get a chip
It's
if you
crazy.
want to.
And that's what it is to me. It also brings in that different. You're talking about the mentality of the police, but it's a different culture. It's a different understanding.
Someone in the
it's
chat
weird.
mentioned about America. I think it was Muggsy. I can't remember
You're
exactly
right,
who.
Ian. You're right,
About having a gun control problem, you know, and that's been something that's been discussed for years about the amount of gunplay and mass murders and just all kinds of gunplay that happens in America compared to everywhere else on the face of the earth. So could that be a part of this particular? Is it that this is more of a particularly an American problem because they seem to have a particularly their issue with guns? It seems to be worse than everyone else's.
I don't think it's an issue
But
totally
isn't
around
part of their-
guns.
No, it's not. I was just about to say, let's bring it back to where we were going. Sorry, Diesel.
No, I was just saying, isn't in America, isn't part of their agenda with so many guns being there? Part of it is for us to kill each other, right?
Well, I
that
don't
make
think it's
sense?
spoken like that, but I understand
No,
what
it's
you
not
mean.
spoken like that, but
Yeah.
But that's
I'm
where the
just
gun
saying it
stores
how
and
it
liquor
is.
stores
Yeah,
are.
that's why there's so many. Yeah, and it's like it's like when you look where the gun stores are. You know what I mean? Like Dave just said, buy the liquor stores. You know, buy the betting offices or whatever the equivalent is. So,
But those are
initially started the agenda.
Yes.
Of having so many.
I don't know what was the root of it, but I know what you're getting at with regards to. I understand what you're getting at with regards to guns within black communities. However, normally when you hear about the mass shootings, it's white people that tend to do that. They're the ones that roll into the school and just start spraying up the place, or someone rolls into the workplace and just sprayed up the whole place. It's generally white people that do that.
And then get taken to Burger King after.
And then get taken to Burger King after. Yeah.
In my
Not seen as
experience,
a threat.
my experience being from America, the gun shops weren't necessarily in the black neighborhoods.
They weren't.
The black people didn't necessarily have money to waste on buying a gun. And generally, and y'all may want to rebut this, I think black people as a whole, we're a lot more forgiving, kind, and not as aggressive and mean as they make us out to be. So we don't really go out and want to arm ourselves with guns. That's the 12th Amendment. the Second Amendment that they wanted to put in for themselves. It wasn't for us.
Yes. And
yes, 100%.
I think it's off of the old, what you call it? I call it the Cowboys and Indians phase. Like the big wagon wheels and everything else, the Wild West phase. I've got a right to hold on to my things. You're standing on my land. Get off my land. I'm going to shot you. You know what I mean? I think it might have extended even before that. I don't know when the thing was signed, the declaration and all that. But
1776.
There we go. So
I believe it was from that as well. That's a large part of it.
It stems from that, because don't forget, also in that time you had a lot of what they would consider immigrants there, and stealing and robbing, and the Chinese.
It's that old mob law. When you talk about that kind of wild west mentality, it's mob law. You know, it's like, let's go round up a posse. We're gonna go over there and deal with that person ourselves, and that's the mentality. And I think that is the same. There are threads of that same mentality that happened with Tyree, because if there was some personal issue between him and one of the other officers and their partners or whatever, it was like the five of them were like, "Yo, round up."
But the Second Amendment was brought in to protect America from the government acting crazy.
Government.
So it was brought in for that, and they've used it to do other things. But it really wasn't brought in for anything other than that. And they just use it to do whatever they want now.
Listen to what you just said. A Second Amendment has been brought in so the citizens can arm themselves against the government.
That's right. That's what.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Where I come from, England, where I was born, that's nuts.
But where's America from? That's America. America is nothing but England.
Yes, it is. It's the big. It's the little sister, but they call it the little brother. But it's the other way around. But people don't know. But that's another show, man. Let's get into that.
Yeah.
But can we swing it back round? Can we swing it back round to the other side of the situation that we brought up very quickly? The disappointment and the I don't know, emotion we're supposed to feel because these 5 officers have now been dealt with immediately. Because that bit still
I think that's a distraction. It's a distraction as far as I'm concerned, because that's not the issue. The issue is not the speed in which the fact that the officers were fired immediately is exactly what should have happened. The issue is. The issue is that it shouldn't have happened in the first place. The issue is a young man was killed when he posed no
I know
threat.
The issue. I know the issue.
I know. So I'm saying that's what we should be focusing on. The other thing is a distraction. The other conversation, I think, is a distraction from what's actually happened and what's the deeper issue within policing and within American culture, particularly around guns and particularly around the police officers, because you got to remember the police officers are they're not just agents of the state. They are the people. They are also your neighbors, and they are the parents of your kids' school and whatever. So they are almost a representation almost like that, the real America, if you understand. They can really do what they want to do. They can express how they really think and feel and do whatever the hell they want. And they know they're in a system where they can get away with it. So I think the other stuff is really a distraction. And I don't think we do ourselves I think we do ourselves a disservice when we buy into getting caught up into.
Well, it's not getting caught up into it. I just think it's something has happened which has affected whoever watching it and gets to know it, and they're going to relate that story to other stories. And whether it's a disparity, whether it's a difference, whether it's something you notice, that's one of the major factors. Wait a minute, these police officers have done what this other police officer done, and they get dealt with like this. I think that is that last bit. It's annoying because I brushed it off earlier because I just knew it was going to happen. But when you lot have all fact checked it and backed it up, how can it bugs me?
It bugs me too. But I don't think it surprises any of us that's happened. I don't think it's surprising. I don't think anybody was surprised by that response, especially when you see these black officers. If it was 5 white officers that killed a black youth and they were all fighting, I'd be totally shocked at that. You know, I don't think anybody was surprised, because you have to, if you put it in context, remember where you are. You're in America. This is the US of A, and it'll be the same here.
I think the black officers were shocked when they were actually brought to account, because they thought Blue Lives Matter. And they thought, I'll get treated just like my white comrades. This thing will just be blown over. But no, sir. That wasn't what happened at all.
It's going to be a hard time they're doing for that, boy.
This is what I'm saying. They're going to go in and start making all the military equipment and everything that they do and put them on, carry on.
I'm not saying this will change anything, but I'm wondering what the nationality, so to speak, of the police sergeant who's in charge of that station would be.
I'll be interesting too. Kamsi's put up an interesting point about black policemen doing the job of white supremacists. They are about to find out how black they really are.
100%.
So it's America showing their true colours. That's it.
Say that again, Friction.
It's America showing their true colours. Not, you know, whether you got a uniform on or not, you're still an N-word in their eyes.
Yeah.
You might think because you got this badge on, you got this uniform on, you get a little.
You get a pass.
You get a pass. No. When we're ready to dry you up, we're treating you like how we treat the rest of them.
I was just looking at some of these stats, right, for the amount of guns that are in America. So the United States tops the world with number of firearms per capita. So per 100 people, there's 120.5 guns per 100 people. So more than one gun per person in the whole of America.
Yeah, you gotta buy them in pairs.
Buy one get one free.
See that cowboy thing? What do we say?
But check this though, right? There's estimated population. Well, the population 2017. This is population of America is 326 million people, right? Registered firearms. There's only 1 million, just over a million. 1,073,000.
So half
unregistered.
Of America
unregistered firearms. 392 million estimated.
Easily.
392 million unregistered guns, you know. That's an
Tons
estimate.
of guns. As
That
literally
brings up and go on.
Do you know what I'm
Then you look at Canada. Canada's got population 36 million compared to their literally a tenth of the population of America. They've got twice as many registered firearms, like 2 million firearms registered, and unregistered about 10 million. Still a lot unregistered, but I bet the death rate by gun is a lot lower in Canada. I would say.
Yeah, it will be.
But then, do we hold gun manufacturers in the mix somehow? Because they're making profits, right?
I don't subscribe to that one.
That's been a story of how many films? How many films have tried to do that and portray that argument? It ain't gonna happen.
You look at an AR-15, right? Like an assault rifle, like semi-automatic, whatever. I don't know the details about gun, but it's a bad boy gun anyway, man. It's in all that the bad boy films, right? What else is that made for other than kill? So that's not like a sport gun. You don't go shooting like rabbits with like an AR-15. You know what I'm saying? So why is someone, a civilian, allowed to have one of those in their house?
Because grown folks already covered it.
I think the government should be held responsible for that. They shouldn't allow people to be able to get those guns as easily. There needs to be a psychological examination and 100%. All kind of things before you give somebody something that can cause that much damage.
But I think I want us to start wrapping this up because it's 11 o'clock already, and we've got other.
10.
Sorry, I beg your pardon. Sorry. 10 o'clock already, and we've got.
You push us off already?
No. And we've got other areas that we wanna cover, but. Now I flipping forgot. You see, I now forgot the point I was going to bloody make.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
But while that's me, remember Chris Rock made the point of they should just make bullets very expensive.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That made sense.
No accidental deaths, boy. 50 grand per bullet.
That's right. You'd think twice.
Serious.
Twice.
Real talk, real talk, real talk, real talk. All right.
You were
I gotta
saying
say
there are
good
other things we
evening.
wanted to talk about. That's what you.
Yeah. There was something else I was wanting to make, a point I was going to make on this thing here. But anyway, it's left my mind. It might come back to me later. Got to say good evening to Richie Ranks in the building. Good evening to Richie Ranks. Good evening to Ian Morlin in the building. Good evening, sir. Good evening to Lady Uzo. Manners and respect. Lady Uzo in the building. Good evening once again to Laney J. Good evening to Beat Pusher in the building. Yes.
He said Dow's going to sell bullets soon. Mugsy. Right, it's got every other drink.
Good evening to
selling bullets in it.
MC Half Pint. Good evening to Half Pint in the building as well. Salute, brother. Blessings, 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 blessings. Good evening to Black Gypsy. Good evening, Kerry. And anyone who I've missed, I apologize. There are a lot of people in the chat, a lot of messages that I'm struggling to keep up with. So if I've missed you, please forgive me. All right. Okay.
Can we
yes.
just do a very quick thank you?
Yes.
Very quick thank you to everyone in the chat that has supported us for the last 17 sessions.
17.
Yeah.
The little shares, the little comments, it is much appreciated. Sometimes you might not have heard us say thank you, but you know what I mean, we have discussed it and say, you know, you lot are really, really supportive. You've been with us from the start, and you know, when you share the Spotify, when you share the YouTube, when you share the links that we repost us on Instagram, we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. Well said.
Well said.
Well said. Well said. Salute to the people in the chat. Round of applause for the people in the chat, please.
Friction.
Salute.
Drop a bomb.
Salute.
NPCs crushed Diesel, honestly.
Oh, crap. Let me load up a bomb. All
right. Drop
Sound
something.
effect.
Drop something for the people.
Fire 2 shots.
Hey, you look, can you see how DJ foolish? You see how you look crazy? All trying to beatbox.
So they just how Muggsy seen me, you know. Yes, Muggsy.
Probably showing my age. It sounded like one of them little, you know, them little things that you just hold.
The little key,
the little key things.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Just to wrap up the gun thing, I was watching something the other day, and
Ross.
it was on Netflix, I think, or Amazon. It was a show, and it was like set back in the day. And this woman had argument with her man, and the man come in the yard. And was bitch, and she had a little 2-shooter. Put 2 in him, pop. You get me? But it didn't kill him. My man, you get me? He got up and ran off. But he was vexed. But it was enough to put him down. You get me? Like, and I thought, you know what? Everyone should have one of them guns, you know. Because it's enough. It's enough to do you something, but it's not going to kill you.
It's not going to kill you.
It's a very serious talking to. Like, yo, I'm telling you, mind yourself.
Catch Lady J.
Lady J.
It's a vegan gun.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I was looking at. Big up Lady J. Sell us some vegan gun, Tarat.
It was, man. Some slim, fast gun.
That's bars. Go on, lady.
Oh, God.
But I'm saying it makes sense because she could protect herself. It was enough to make the
Vegan
man,
gun, you know.
You get me?
Cold, man.
Vegan gun.
Wait, I hear what you're saying, though, Frick.
59 minutes. Chop that up. Oh, man.
22.
Vegan gun. Oh, Lord have mercy.
No, but no, Frick,
pew on
if you caught it in your eye, you'd worry about it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's going to be certain points, but
you know what I mean. I'd rather that than you're gonna live. You're gonna have one eye, but you're gonna live. You got to think about it next time you try and roll on the person.
Good evening to Melly Mel as well. I forgot to say good evening to Melly Mel. I think I saw her name come up somewhere in the chat as well.
On the side of the gun, it should be called Act Right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Let me give you 2 doses of Act Right. Behave yourself. Know yourself.
And it can only hold 2 bullets. You get the warning shot.
Literally.
The next one, I'm putting it in you.
Yeah, man.
All right, brothers. Act Right.
Brothers, we move. As Mr. Diesel would say, we move.
As we move.
Hi, I'm Junior Giscombe, and you're watching The Real Soundcheck Podcast.
Boom.
Also got to say good evening to Melissa Deans. I'm not sure if I said hello to Melissa Deans
did.
earlier on. Did we? Okay, cool. I thought I might have missed Melissa. All right, so Butch, I think you raised the question today in our group. Do you want to lead us off with that?
Yes. It's nice to talk about it because I do believe the people watching us also may have an idea. The non-DJs, those that are party people and ravers, and they look at the DJ and go, "Did he prepare that?" Or she. Did they really prepare that, or are they just winging it? But then you got the connoisseur ravers that can tell when a DJ is all over the place and not really structured and whatever. So my round frame question is, how important is preparation, and when do you prepare your sets and when do you don't?
Okay, fellas, anybody wanna go first? Let me come to Dave Knight.
I was thinking, nah, you can't come to me first, but because I guess I prepared my first ever set, and then after that, I didn't prepare anything. I may have had in mind what songs I might play before another song. So what I feel was a low energy song into a high energy song, and made sure that I didn't play the high energy into the low energy. But all the other sets and all the radio shows are freestyle. The only times I used to do, maybe prepare the first 3 songs of a radio show. So I play them back to back, and then I'd probably write them down sometimes just so I can remember to introduce all 3 of them, because I wouldn't say anything for the first 3 songs. And then I'd come in, say who I am and what station you listen to the show, and then you've just heard da-da-da, da-da-da, and da-da-da, stick around for more XYZ. And anything else was just like how I feel, where the energy is. On the dance floor, yes, as Butch mentioned, it does get a bit wavy sometimes when the crowd's not feeling a certain thing, so you try to jump into something else. Does that work? But yeah, everything else is just a freestyle, and I just go with what I feel.
And you find that works for you? I'm guessing you do, because that's what you continue to do. That's your main.
To do, yeah. Unless I get some new songs and I'm thinking, would that work with that? Then I see. But other than that, it's just free flowing.
Okay. Mr. Diesel.
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Obviously, with private bookings, it's different. I tend to prepare a lot more if I'm doing a wedding or, a birthday.
Can I ask why?
Generally, because you're more focused on what the person who's booked you wants. You know what I mean? In terms of in a club, like I'll prepare generally the first 2 tracks I'm going to play, and then from there it's more freestyle, because you never know what's going to, like Dave said, on the dance floor you might play something and bang, you've lost the crowd, you know what I mean? Or you might play something else and it might be one of those cross-genre tunes, for example, and suddenly you're playing dancehall when you didn't expect to play dancehall at that point in the set. So in clubs I'll load up like the first 2 or 3 tunes. I'll kind of have an idea of what I'm going to plan, but private bookings really I try and focus on what if it's a wedding, what the wedding party, what they want, or if it's a birthday, same thing again. I'll focus on them. But clubs, freestyle, private bookings, I'll have some sort of, arrangement of what I'm going to do.
Okay. I was laughing. I'm sorry. When I was laughing, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at Half Pints T. He says, when a DJ knows the next DJ and plays 4 different types of music in 15 minutes and mash up everything.
Yeah,
bro.
That's the other end of the scale.
We experienced it this weekend, mate.
Oh, is that
Is
what
it?
happened?
Oh, talk on it.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want it to sound. No, honestly, I don't want it to sound like I'm bad mouthing someone, because I'm not. Because really and truly, this goes to back in the day when we were playing out and we had a lot limited selections of what we could play, and then a DJ would go on before you, and maybe it was on purpose, maybe it wasn't, but he might play literally your set. To maybe be B-sides or whatever. So
yes,
I'm not gonna knock a DJ for that, because that used to happen back in the day.
It still does.
Yeah, it still does happen. But then it's down to for what you've picked up as a DJ over the years and your knowledge, you kind of then need to expand on what you have. Or,
Agreed.
You know,
Agreed.
kind of have a little interval and then you start again if you need to.
Yeah, I agree. Because although I've had it, it's never, and for me, it's my personal issue with it is I feel it's a little bit bad mind when someone's coming up and you literally just empty every clip that you can.
You mean,
right?
Yeah. All right. Let's put it into context in the sense of you're playing you're coming up next with a hip hop set.
Yes.
Everyone knows you play hip hop. Bashment Man is playing Bashment now, but the last 8-9 songs of his set is hip hop.
No. Well, it might be that, but the most recent one I had, I was coming up to play, and the person who was before me, I don't know them. I know of them because they're a name on the circuit, but I've never DJed with them before, right? And I was coming up to play after them, and I'm telling you, like 15, 20 minutes before I came on, my man emptied out the garage clip, the jungle clip, the hip hop. My man emptied everything in like 15, 20 minutes before I stepped up. And I was like, okay. So it didn't faze me because of my levels. I'm able to draw on my own music knowledge and experience. I can handle that, and I can just go down a completely different lane that you weren't on. Obviously, he wanted to have that Shellings spot. You know what I mean? But
he wanted the T-shirt.
He wanted the Shelling spot, right? He wanted that line. He wanted that. But if you're experienced, you'll know that Shellings doesn't always mean hype. You know what I mean? Because you can fling on a heavy piece of slow jam or revival or whatever and tear up a dance differently. Do you know what I mean? So it was fine, but for me, it's just a bad-mindedness, man. Just do you, innit? Just do you, and let the next man come on and do them.
The scary thing is, brother, that might be them. They are that DJ that does that. They panic.
No, but a lot of the times they're not that DJ. You know they're not.
That's it was one of those. It was one of those ones, Butch, where when you listen to a set, right, and it just doesn't really make sense, right? You're chopping and changing so quick, and it's just you're all over the gaff. It doesn't make sense. You're rushing here. You are rushing
just to play the tunes.
Just to play the tunes before I come on. I'm coming on at the top of the hour. Croc's gonna come on at the top of the hour, and he's going to shell or he's going to whatever. So I'm going to get in all the shellings, everything that he can play.
All the top 40.
I'm going to get it all in.
So
all the top 40.
It goes back to my question. It goes back to my question, Croc. So now you can answer the question. When that happens, are you then forced to prepare something in your head at least to say, right, he's done that. So now I'm going to go here, and here first. Do you, or is it completely wing, but you know the genre?
No,
or, just define it. So
when that happened, I prepared. Well, this is kind of what I do anyway. If I'm gonna go out, and Dave will sees me doing this all the time, I will just I'll go and sit somewhere with my laptop or in a corner or whatever with my headphones on, and I will I'm listening to us playing, and I'm studying just the mood in the room, and I'm just deciding where I'm going to take it, basically. And so that's what I did.
Have you guys heard about how Jay-Z kind of like doesn't actually write down his lyrics? And he's just there, he'll hear the beat and he'll just be mouthing, and then he'll be ready. That's what DJ Croc does. He just on the laptop and then he's ready.
Boy, he starts channeling.
That's what I'm saying.
Holy Ghost.
To answer Butch's question, that's what I did. I was like, okay, so you've shelled that, and also because he's done so much of this shellings thing, when I've come on now, the energy in the room is people's kind of tired. And they're hot and sweaty because they've been jumping up hard for the last 20 minutes. So people kind of look like they need a bit of a rest. Just take it down a notch and give them a little breather and then take it up again later on. Do you know what I mean? So I did come in differently. I took it down a different avenue that he didn't go down. But it was interesting. Yeah, friction. And then there's an interesting question that Melly Mel's put in the chat, which I wanna come back to.
Yeah,
friction.
It depends. So the answer is it depends. It depends on the event. It depends on the anticipated crowd. It depends on who I'm playing alongside. So when my first proper set was the anniversary. I prepared for that. I just lined up all my tracks and I knew, okay, I'm going to play. I don't know what order, but I'm going to play all of these. My second full set after that was the Raid Train, and I prepared for that because it was my first time being introduced to this audience and this community. So I thought I want to come in here and represent myself accordingly, and I don't want to be freestyling. So I prepared that set from top to bottom. I knew I got everything lined up and I knew what I was going to do. Once I got more comfortable, and the first time I played the Hip Hop Raid Train, again, I knew exactly what I was playing. I had it all lined up, ready to go. Once I got more comfortable and more confident, like with the Raid Trains now, I just turn up because I know whatever I play is going to be appreciated. If I do plan, I go last, so I got 3 hours of shellings before I come on. So more time. If I've planned something, 20% of it could have been eaten up already. So I've given up on it. I just turn up and I know whatever I play is going to be appreciated. So
I'm the other way
that.
round. But anyway,
when I played, I was booked for a 40th birthday party. I knew it's going to be a mixed crowd and there's going to be people in there who I've got to cater for a variety of musical tastes. So I prepared a set that I knew it's still me, but I wouldn't necessarily play this music on a daily basis. But I can mix this in, I can mix that in, I can do this, I can do that. Do you get what I'm saying? So I played a set that represented me, but also cross-genre, some R&B, some, you know what I mean, some kind of top 40 stuff and whatever. But I do like the thrill of freestyling. You know you make a decision mentally.
Yes.
I'm going in.
Yes.
And you're just free falling.
Yeah.
So the last set I played Saturday night was just free fall. I said, you know what, boom, just start playing. And I had no idea where I was going to go, and I'm just scrolling through, boom, that one, boom. Scroll again, that one.
They're the best ones sometimes.
And that was probably the best set I played. That was probably the best set on the night. So yeah,
Checkers.
man.
Yeah. I'll talk after Frick, man, because like the gig that we played on Saturday, I played alongside Frick, and I had a mental note of like the first, because like we put a mix on first, just like a pre-recorded mix that I had first while we were setting up and getting things ready, and then I started playing after. Turned that off and I started playing a couple of tunes just while Frick was sorting out his thing. And then Frick went on. And then Frick, the spirit took him, man. And my man started chopping up some things. And in my mind, I was going, right, okay, I'm going to do my first time I go on, I'm going to play some hip hop and thing, man. But Frick, the way Frick was dropping tune and chopping things up, what I had in mind of what I was going to do didn't make sense going after that with that same energy. Do you know what I mean? So it was like scrapped. Yeah, it was completely scrapped, and it was just like, right, okay, let me start here. And I went like an old school. I played hip hop, but I played like an old school thing and kept it kind of like a party vibe kind of thing, because it was just so much energy. It was just dope, man. It was dope to watch, man. Trust me. You know what I mean? It did sweet me. It sweet me, Frick, for real.
And
you know what I
the
mean?
set was perfect. You know what I mean? Like I said to you on the evening, what you played was perfect. Like there was no point in the night where it was like, what's going on up there? Do you get what I'm saying? The two sets complemented each other. You know what I mean? So it was like we were forced to kind of freestyle to cater for the people, and plus it was a pub as well. So you had those that came for us and those that are regulars. You know what I mean? So again, at no point in the night was it like, yeah, this is a bit too much now, or they've gone too hardcore, they've gone too soft. It was just perfect. And it was just that ability to read the crowd, which that's what it is. You know, you can have your set, but if you can't read the crowd, your set's dead.
I just knew straight away when I was coming, because I was coming on. I came up about like 10 minutes before I was coming on. You go, you ready? I was looking what to play. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna go down this lane now. I'm gonna have to go here. I can't go and just continue what happened there, boy, because that was a different thing entirely, Bridgery. Do you know what I mean? So I said, right, okay, I'm gonna go here. And just start up and build it back up, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? It didn't make sense just continue that energy. I wouldn't be able to do. You know what I mean? It didn't make sense. But it worked, man. I think. I think it worked.
Grown folks.
Yeah. Big shout out to Miffy Moments and MLK Mike Kelsey tuning in.
Salutations.
Yeah, for me,
Miffy,
I always prepare something. It may be an entire show. It may just be half a show or whatever it is when I'm going on the radio. Now, I have deviated from that because something else will come to mind and I'll just go off into a different lane. That definitely will happen. And whenever I do One Nation, I also prepare what I have a list of things that I think would work for that venue, and I start playing with that. And it may do a little deviation because I may see the crowd they take a shine to one song, like, okay, well, I can come up with something that's kind of similar to that as well, keep the same energy going. But yeah, I always prepare. I just would not just go cold and have no songs. I would have something in mind.
Okay. Butch Cassidy, did you answer this question?
I haven't answered it. No. I raised the question. No, it was good. The reason why I raised it was just it is just listening to other DJs and going out and Diesel knows it's been how many.
What's half pint on, man?
Hold on to it.
Half pint. We're trying to be serious here, brother. You're just distracting us.
Hold on, you can put it up in a second. I won't take long.
Experiences we've had, mate.
I won't take long. I prepare. I do prepare, especially like when I'm on a raid, because of like going on the hip hop raid and so forth. To me, some of you, well, not some of you, all of you that are connoisseurs within your own right, because of the experience and the music you love, and I might not have that experience. So when I'm listening to you lot play, and I'm like, where did he draw this from? I've never heard this. What's that? How can I then come on and just wing it after what I'm hearing? You might be winging it, but you know your record box. So that's the beauty of it. So even though you're winging it, as everyone else will see it or understand the phrase, you know your record box, so you're not really winging it. You're in your zone. You know your box. Like you go in your 80s hip hop box and you go in that and say, right, that will go with that. I can cut that out and drop that in after that. That's got the same type of beat or break or whatever. You know your box. So then I kind of think different. I think after Three Connoisseurs, let me try my thing. Like, let me bring in what I know and how it is. So there is a little bit of preparation. The only time I wing it is literally like, if you're talking on Twitch, is when I pop up. When I pop up, it's winged. It's anything goes, anything I want to play.
But your Sunday shows, you plan your Sunday shows, your Sunday show.
I would say about 75% of it is planned.
Okay.
75%
of it is... Let me just build on... So, no, finish.
No, 75% of it is a loaded double barrel shotgun to bring that entertainment. So I know I'm talking in certain songs. I know what I'm going to bring in. I know even Grown Folks Sunday when you popped in, you know what I mean? That was a playlist put together of all the songs that people have asked for reloads for and everything else in the last 2 years. And I knew what it was going to do. And the vibe was
dope.
sick.
It was
sick.
dope.
The vibe was sick because especially
top tier shellings.
Especially like the Sundance family. The Sundance family, to take my hat off to them. They know music, so when they're asking for a reload, it's not on any hype thing. They know it's a tune. Okay. But as I said, I think both can work. You can shell and you can wing, but I think just be careful when you do it and know when it's right, you know what I mean? But sorry, go on. I know
Friction. I want to build, just in terms of like preparation as well. It doesn't have to be a set preparation in that sense. So you mentioned the raid train. I've been playing the raid train now since September, October. So it's been a few months, say 4 months. Doing that every week has prepared me to play anywhere. You get what I'm saying? Because there's times where, like I said, I will plan, and my plan has to go out the window because everything I've planned to play has been played. So that's forced my hands to operate on your toes, like boom, think on your feet and be on your toes all the time. So it might not be I'm going into a dance or into a set prepared in that sense, like I haven't sat down and said I'm going to play this and this, but because I've had that experience consistently every single week for a number of months, I'm prepared.
I think there is a thing about if it is an event or a venue or a crowd that you are familiar with, then you don't need to do so much preparation because you know the crowd, you know the event, you've been doing it for a while. Like if you have a resident, like for me when I play at Chip Shop, I don't need to plan at Chip Shop. I can turn up and I know how to deal with Chip Shop.
They can drop napalm.
Dave, you have to give us warning, man. That shit's getting right.
And I can do, and it's the same at Ritzy because I've been at Ritzy for years now, so I know the One Nation crowd. Even though the One Nation crowd changes, you know, we get some people drop out, and we get new people come, and it's kind of revolving doors with One Nation to a degree. But with a regular venue and a regular crowd, you can do that. If I'm playing somewhere that is maybe a new spot or a new situation, then I am more inclined to try and put in a bit of planning beforehand. If I'm at an event and I'm going after somebody, like I've said before, quite often I won't do my planning beforehand because, like Friction has said, sometimes you can go to a venue or an event with the best plan, the best set, all laid out in advance, and then you find when you get there, the DJ before you plays half your stuff, or they just leave it on a vibe where, or your crowd, the people in front of you just look at them, you think, what I prepared is not going to work for this lot. It's not going to work for this audience in front of me. And you got to switch it up.
See, that's
why when, like Dave will say, I tend to do that at the venue. So I'm there and I'm looking at my crowd and I'm paying attention to what the DJ's playing before me, and I'm weighing all of this up. And I'm kind of, you know, I'm doing the maths in my head. Okay, so I think this will work, and this will work, and this will work, and this will work, and yada, yada, yada. And that's what Dave calls the napalm. And that's why when I come out and drop it, it works because I'm doing my homework before I go on and play.
Can I chime in?
Yeah. Behave. Who is that?
Done, man.
You lot are jokers, man.
So you've just made me think. And Diesel was around that time.
That's a long bomb drop.
I know, it's long. It's making me think about preparation because I used to one of my first residencies was at Yum Yum Gas Club every Tuesday for about 6 to 8 years. Is how I met Diesel. And I played last. I was a resident, but I was the last resident. There was 2 residents, Easeback and me. Yeah, Easeback is one of the greatest show starters that has ever played in this city. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. 100%. Anyway, see, look. Anyway, in between us, we would have the radio guest. So it could have been Blitz, it could have been Swerve, it could have been whoever in between. I left my house knowing that I've got to play after not only Easeback, but a radio guest. So I suppose that's why my mentality is you can pre-plan a list and it not get played when you know what your opposition could do and needs to do in that time. If they've got the main set, you know what bashment they're going to play. You know 90% of the bashment that they're going to have to play because of that time. So walk with different bashment, innit? Don't come out your house with the same bashment.
Yeah. I think with Diesel said something as well about putting planning and preparation into the difference between the public events and the private events. And like Diesel, I think if I'm booked for something like a wedding or something like that, I put in a lot more preparation and planning because, or someone's birthday party, especially if it's a landmark one, I tend to put in a bit more planning with that, especially because somebody, you try and work to their vibe. They're booking you for their specific event. It's about them. And so the event is about them. It's not so much about the public or the audience. It's more about that couple that's getting married or the person who's celebrating that event. So you try and cater to them because you want to make sure they have the best birthday or the best wedding or the best.
That's a different level of DJs.
Yes. So that's different.
That's providing a service. And if you can't prepare to provide a service, you're not doing your job right.
Yeah.
There was a little question in the
what was the comments that was
vinyl and digital, because I guess for preparation, once it was vinyl that you had, so you had to kind of prepare in terms of I can only bring so much.
Yes.
Nowadays you could probably
or
freestyle
afford so much.
Or there you go.
Back in the day, it was like you play what you could afford.
Yes.
And that was it.
Yeah. I think the big difference for me with digital and vinyl, I think I heard Jazzy Jeff explain it the best, and I think that's the best explanation I've heard. And for me, it's a similar thing to what he says. All the digital thing does for me is that it allows me to carry more music than I can carry in records, and that's it. And by doing so, it allows me to tap into that creativity more because I have more music. And if I just get that spur of the moment, that flash of inspiration like Frick was talking about, where I think, do you know what? I can drop this or I can mix that in with that. You can do it because you're walking with like thousands of tunes, which you could never do with vinyl. Also with the digital, there's all kind of things you can do with the technology now. You set cue points. I can jump straight to a particular section of a song, which you can't, it's not so easy to do. You can do it with the vinyl, but it's not as easy to do it with the vinyl. You can create loops, instant doubles, where you load it up onto both decks at the same time. So there's all these kinds of things that you can do.
I was killing that on Saturday.
Which allow you to tap into creativity.
Instant doubles got rinsed.
There was a question that Melly Mel put up before. She was asking about. I can't scroll back and find it now because there's too many. But she was saying the question was something along the lines of, do you find that you do your best set when when you've done a prepared set or when you're kind of doing it off the fly?
Is that live or on Twitch? Because there's two different things.
I guess a live setting. Let's take a live
setting.
Live setting. Yeah. Do you find that you do your best set when you've planned it in advance, or when you are working on the fly? Any one of you. Diesel said freestyle.
Yeah.
You do your best sets, your best shellings when you do those sets.
I'd say so, yeah, because that's when it comes down to that's when it comes to being a selector.
Yes.
Just a DJ.
Yes.
You know what I mean, if you select right, you can have no DJ skills whatsoever.
Yes.
But if you know how to select,
you
can mash up a dance the same way.
Yeah. Well, look at how we do it. Look at how we do at One Nation when we do we always do those 1-for-1s.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
You have to know how to select, because if you don't, you know worries. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And it draws out. It draws out the best in us, because that thing we were saying last week about the person who goes before you raises the bar for you to then play. Exactly. Because you hear that, you can't stick to, well, this is next on my list. You can't. That's not going to work. Yeah, I mean,
you can't, mate. You can't.
Yeah,
it's true.
It's true. Anybody else feel differently, or feel that? Does anybody feel like their plan sets work better?
50-50. Yeah. I'm definitely 50-50.
Okay.
I know it sounds weird, but it goes back to whoever said it. Whereas, if I have a DJ in front of me and I can hear what he's playing, even though it might be classed as winging, I am thinking of the first 4 songs.
Right.
I'm thinking of the first 4, so that's planning a quarter of my set.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To know where I'm going, and then I can go anywhere else afterwards. But the impact of Butch Cassidy's up next, and he's gonna there, and I've come in. I need to know that I've listened to what's gone on, and I've planned, and I know where I'm gonna go in the first 4 songs. Just to play anything. I'm not saying I haven't done it, but I like to know the first 4 songs.
That makes sense. I think most DJs though will plan at least the first couple of tunes, because the one thing that can always, well, I say that because the one thing that can always happen is, like somebody said earlier on, you might plan this is your first tune, and then it's the last DJ's last tune.
Yeah. Tech, you were going to say something earlier on, I think?
Yeah, I was saying I like, especially when I'm streaming or if I'm on a raid train or something like that, there might pop up a song or I can do Oh, is it cutting out?
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, so what I was saying was, cool. So what I'll think about is like maybe think about pairs. I'll always think about what I'm going to drop first, but that might change listening to what people go before me. So say, for example, I'm going to think about something, and then someone either might play that song earlier, or they might give me a different idea into something else and choose a different song. Then I'll go with that, and I'll think about what song I'm going to play first and maybe the second song. But sometimes I'll also think about like a pair. If there's a certain tune that I want to play at some point, I'll think about what can go with that, you know what I mean? So it kind of hits harder, or try to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But other than that, everything else is just winging it. And I found sort of playing on Twitch and doing things like the raid train has helped me to the amount of times I've relabeled my music and reorganized it and organized it. Oh my days, it's coming like an OCD thing. You know what I mean? But it's paid dividends that I can actually find things a lot better and move around my library.
I'm still labeling till today. Still relabeling, labeling. It's the most important thing about the digital side of it, so you know what your genres are, where you want it in. Some people class some things as just R&B, but other people it's soul. It's not R&B. You know, to know where you are. And,
I think that's another.
Wasn't we? We talked about it in the group the other day.
Yeah,
I think that's another benefit to what Ian Morlin was asking, the difference between the digital and the vinyl. When you got the vinyl, that record or those records can only sit in one box. You know what I mean? Whereas on digital, you can have that one tune in several different boxes or several different genres of boxes or categories or what have you. You know,
I used to section my box, boy. I remember. You know what I mean? You have your
Yeah,
R&B
I would.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That's
only,
right.
Yeah, it's only like
Yeah.
the dance hall. I'll have my sevens box.
With
which is
sevens,
separate,
yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I mean? But other than that, the box is in sections. So.
Yes. Likewise. I'd put all my hip hop tunes together, or all my R&B tracks together, or all my whatever else. I'd put them together in the box as well.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say as well is in terms of, like, we're talking about sets. The other thing for me is routines. So I know in my mind I've got certain routines I can do, and I can pull them out and stick them in anywhere.
Do you want to explain a routine for those who might not understand what you mean by a routine?
Yeah, so there might be something I do with certain records, and I've kind of worked it out where, okay, I'm going to drop this and mix it a certain way or cut it up a certain way, and it's standalone. That can work anywhere. So that could be in the middle of a set, it could be at the beginning of a set. You know, so my sets can be made up of smaller routines. So it might be 3 or 4 records that go back to back, or again, I mix them a certain way. That's a routine by itself. That can drop in multiple sets. Do you get what I'm saying? So like that night, Tech, when I done that, I started playing some funk. Like, I know, you get me. I never played a whole funk set, but I played like 2 or 3 routines that I know. Okay, yeah, man, I know how this goes. I can do that, and then come out again and go again. So that's the routine side of things.
I know when I was on Twitch the other day, I was only supposed to be doing 2 hours, but it got good to me. And next thing you know,
listen. I'm sorry to interject, grown folks, but I gotta say that pop-up that you did last week was beautiful.
Thank you.
It was beautiful.
The man said it got good to me, you know.
Yeah, it got good to me. Sucky.
Yo, if I ever tell you what this man had me doing.
And there's video of it too.
Yeah, there's a video I sent him. Listen, I said, yo, you're making me want to get my skates on, man. And I said to myself, yo, if this guy plays one more tune on these vibes, I swear I'm going to put my skates on. This guy threw on flipping Earth, Wind and Fire, Let's Groove. I said,
And then suddenly we got Swiss Beats in Brixton.
Hey, listen, I had my skates on and I sent him and Cammy the video of me skating around my yard. It was beautiful. I created a nice skate rink in my living room, and it was beautiful. And you know, the best thing about it was I was kicking myself for having not gone skating that evening. And then you basically brought the skate to my yard. So thank you for that.
That's when you know you're grown, you know, when you can skate in your house. You're a big man.
Yeah.
You're grown folks then.
That's right. Now I know you ain't got them skates on in the house.
Get me? My son has to carry his skates through the house and put them in the back seat of the car.
Good evening, Ayola. If do you know what, I might try and find the video. But good evening, and good evening once again to Miffy Moments. All right, it's 22:11. I think we should wrap this one up because we've got some flips to get through. We have got some flips to get through, so let's get into that one. All right, let's go. All right, so following on from the madness that we have been creating around here for the last 3 or 4 weeks with the burger rack flip, which has now become The dub plate.
The Soundcheck dub plate.
The dub plate. The dub plate. We now have gone back to. We've now gone back to go. We've gone back to go on the board. All right, we're gonna pass go again and come with a new flip challenge set by, I think you all had the discussion last week, and I think the agreement was Joe 90. Was it Joe 90 we were going to go with?
It was Joe 90.
All right. Diesel, can you do us a favor, if you would please, sir, and just give us the original, just to remind us what we are working with, please. And then we will go into the flips that have been created for this week. And who knows, we will see where this one ends up in 2 or 3 weeks' time. All right? Here we go. Joe 90.
Big tune.
Okay?
Yeah, all good. Yep. Thank you.
I hope I got the right thing.
Flip the wrong tune.
Oh, here's the bubble sound. I was waiting for the bubble sound.
Tough, this is low. Tough.
Yo, bad.
B-boy shit. In the building.
Kiwi Drake. Salute.
Is that my man Rick? That's my boy Rick.
Too much ammunition for Frick there, boy. I see his head calculated.
This is what I'm saying. You know what? I can just see Frick thinking, boy.
It would make a whole album just from Joe 90.
This is what I'm saying.
That is a tune that is so bad it can just drop into any one of our sets as it is.
As it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Amazing. Salute to Kiwi Drake in the building. Salute. Good evening. Welcome in. Big up. Is Don Soroy in the place? Oh, that's
Monty.
That is Muggs. That is Muggs.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's referring to him as Don Soroy. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so what is that I'm hearing now? Oh, that's the same thing.
That's more Joe 90.
All right, cool. So who's got flips for this week?
Well, just
Butch.
to quickly say,
here we go.
Stop it, man.
I thought the other one.
Do you know what, Dave? Just play the ting, Pram. Just play the ting.
Nothing long.
Just play the ting, bro.
I thought the other one was Captain Scarlet. I thought you did one of the other.
It was a choice, wasn't it?
I think it was a choice. I think it was a choice. It was.
Listen back. I beg you lot, listen back. We didn't.
I listened back, and at the end of it, I'm sure Croc said you can do whatever you want to do because there was Spider-Man, there was Joe 90.
Yeah, Spider-Man came in the mix.
Spider-Man was there, and then we said, "Oh, Captain Scarlet," and then for some reason, someone put it in the chat.
So hold on, Dave. Are you trying to tell us that you've done something different?
It's Captain Scarlet.
That's cool, man. Run with Captain Scarlet.
Yeah, that, man.
It's all still Jerry Anderson, isn't it? So it worked, man.
Okay.
Run with Captain Scarlet. So yeah,
this
Dave.
relates to something that we were talking about last week.
Alright.
It sounds dirty already.
In it. Bass speaker alert. Yeah, look, man's putting in extra earplugs. To protect his ears from the dirt.
Turn it up a little bit, Dave.
Yeah, can you give us a bit more? Yeah. Raw. Raw. There you go. There it is. Raw.
That's nasty. That's nasty.
Raw. I can hear bars coming.
Okay.
That's dirty. That's dirty. That's
like
dirty.
that. I
That's
like
dirty. Yo, salute, man. Salute, 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 salute. Yo, like Lenny's saying that needs bleach and Dettol, boy. not Dettol, you know, Dettol. Dettol.
So a little information about that particular track.
Right.
The beat is an AI beat.
What?
Oh, for real.
What?
Hold on.
No, you're out of order.
What do you mean that's an AI beat? Please
The
explain.
actual underlying beat, apart from the sample, is actually an AI beat.
What did you do? You just said Siri, make me a dirty beat.
Went on to
Go on,
Siri,
Dave.
make me some filth.
How does that work? How does that work?
found one of these websites. Everybody talk about AI, so I found one of these websites, and it said, okay, it can create a beat. Plug in, you just choose a couple of settings, and then you hit enter. It goes away, and about 30, 40 seconds later, boom, there's a beat. So all I've done is taken that, put some EQ on it, a couple of compressor, whatever, and then I've taken the sample and just laid it on top. So you're hearing the first
So I need to hear it again now.
AI flip.
I need to hear it again.
Wow.
Yeah, I think you're gonna need to. Yeah, let's
say it again, man.
have
Turn
that
it up,
again,
man.
please,
Turn it
brother.
up.
Let's have that
Turn it
again.
up, man. Turn that up. Turn that up.
3, 2, 1. I'm back.
I'm looking at the beat.
Yo.
I'm looking at the beat sideways now. Like, come on, lad, man. Mr. AI. So this is a sample. That's just a straight sample, innit?
No, that's the beat. That's the AI. And that sample on top. But the beat.
Start it again.
underneath.
Start it again.
It's Captain Scarlet,
So that-
isn't it? It's
yeah,
Captain
so-
Scarlet.
Yeah,
So this part, all this is AI.
this is
The
AI.
bass line.
Everything. And I've even taken out some of it with EQ.
Done. Finished. We done. We did.
Yo.
Straight in the bin.
Yeah, you don't need to fix your PC now, bro.
AI.
Allow it.
Crash my MPC on purpose.
Allow it, man.
So I just, brought some more kicks in with the EQ, and got some of the harmonies that were just interfering with the sample. Yeah. 40 seconds.
That's crazy.
This is one.
Nikki Boo says she don't want no AI 16 bars.
I'm asking AI to write me some bars right now. Right. Hey, rap about.
Alexa, but write me a 16.
You get me? What's that 16?
In the style of.
In the style of shelling.
What's the rhymes? Yeah.
What's the rhymes? Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely
In the style
nuts,
of
man.
DJ Shellers.
That is
Alexin.
Hey.
Alexin, you know.
It's a smart prize one.
That's right. Audrey.
Now, big up, Dave. Big up, Dave. Seriously.
Yo,
big
that's
up,
been
man.
on my mind.
Yo, I don't know.
Think about it.
I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel
That's
about
what I'm
this.
saying. My mind.
I'm saying
torn.
big up, but I right. If I'm honest, yeah, like I said, big up for the idea. For me
Yeah, man.
personally, this AI thing, I'm scared of AI. I'm straight up, I'm scared of AI. So like, yeah, it's dope, but nah, man. Not
It's gonna end us. It's gonna end us. It's gonna end us.
You know what? It's like, you know, AI came in and said, pack up your CD, pack up your charger.
Pack up a charger.
You get me? Yeah? Nah, mate. It was dope, but you know what? I think I'm taking comfort in knowing Dave could have done that by himself without AI anyway.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Oh, gosh. I don't know. I have all kind of mixed feelings about that one, boy. But the beat was dope. The beat was dope. I'm not going to front. All right, Butch, what you got?
I'm going to have to switch over my audio. Give me a sec.
All right, cool. While we're doing that, then...
Are you judging that? If Dave hadn't told you it was made by AI, would you be cross-examining it in the same manner?
No.
I wouldn't, because I know he could make that anyway.
Yeah. I wouldn't.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, if he didn't tell us, we wouldn't have guessed anything different.
Nah.
We would have said, go on, Dave, and just we keep it moving.
Yeah. But him
nothing in there
him talk too mucking fudge. That's the problem.
Because him talk the kinks.
There was nothing there that sounded a bit off, like, or off key. Just like, yeah, man.
Bugs, you crazy.
That was him doing that.
Shout out Laney J. Shout out Lady
Is this Butch?
Yeah, man, I agree.
Yeah.
Butch, is that you?
Yeah.
All right.
Is that you? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Root smelling.
All right, here we go.
Root smelling. Top tier shelling.
Here we go. Butch Cassidy with Joe 90 Flip. Crispy. Yeah, man. That's nice. This is nice. This is nice. This is tough, you know. I like this. I like this.
Which artist can we hear on that one?
Which artist?
Yeah.
Kelly Willy boy.
Yeah, there you
Tally
go.
Kelly Willy.
Talib Kelly Willy. That's the one. That's the one. Hey, that one. That one. You know him?
You got a second one from Butch.
He's got two.
Come on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Catch him now. Mr. Productive.
Butch's EP.
You get me?
Yeah, man. Kill it. What's he got? Bass on it.
Something's coming. Something's gonna come. He's too calm. He's too calm.
The brute smelling.
Yeah.
Top tier shit.
Right, you see that?
The brute
This is his announcement. Something's coming. Something's coming.
He knows with his background, doesn't he?
Yeah, for real.
Okay. There we go.
Oh, for real.
Breakdown. Easy. It's like a Fat Boy Slim thing.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Skank kind of
For real. Yeah. Boys, share the screen. Yeah, salute, Butch, salute. Salute. Yeah, man, two of those were tough. Both of those were tough.
Nice.
Yeah, man. Man didn't come with, man give us two for the price of one.
See it there?
Yeah, I mean, special deal, man. Salute, love them. All right, so brothers, it's on
Am I back in?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you are.
Big up, man.
So it's on the rest of us now.
Big up.
Yeah, salute. It's on the rest of us.
Time pressures.
Yep. That is it. So Butch, just tell me, did you do that or did Alexin help you?
Elexiri. Was it Elexiri?
Was it Alexina? Was it
Alexish.
Alexina?
No. But I liked the cadence of the drums and the breakdown of what the computer did. It's scary. It's scary because with the right sounds and the right punch,
That's it.
that would be dangerous. Absolutely dangerous.
Yeah,
But,
I'm gonna look into this.
It's been
Don't do it.
Everyone's
Yeah, man.
It's a lot of things that are going on. I can tell you stuff that's happening right now in AI that people won't believe is actually happening, and when they really think about it, you should know it is happening in the music business with AI as we speak.
This is scary.
Because there's I'll put it right into you.
Singers'
right
voices.
now.
What, singers' voices or something?
Yes,
Like AI the
exactly
voice.
that. Exactly that. There's
can you
AI
imagine?
out. There's AI out there right now that has Drake's voice,
Yeah,
Missy
yeah.
Elliott's voice, Jay-Z's voice, everything else right now. If I wanted to, I could say to AI, write me a dub plate in the style of da 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 da, using whatever style. Take the words, put it into this voice thing, and it will sound like Jay-Z going, "Yeah, bigger than Boot Scarcity, man." And you would not know. You would not know.
Okay, it is scary.
And it sounded
That is
just like
scary.
him.
Really?
That is scary.
There's a TV show now where they've got like
Deepfake.
celebrities
Deepfake
living
show.
there.
Deepfake.
Deepfakes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it. I just
What
saw
is
the advert
what
for
is
it the other
this?
day.
What is this?
It's like a sitcom basically where they've got like Kim Kardashian living next door to God knows whoever.
Idris Elba
And
and
Idris
yeah,
Elba is in there.
Jay-Z
So they've got
down
the
the
faces
road
on
and-
actors. Yeah.
It's crazy. It is
Oh
crazy.
right,
Wow.
that is
So
scary.
like the
yes,
other
half
ones-
pint. That's what's gonna start going in. Man's gonna be cutting dubs and going in like they're real dubs and they're not real
For
dubs.
real.
That's
For
exactly
real.
what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So beer man's, and I'm surprised because I really think it's already happened. There's enough man out there with cartel dub. Okay, let me just, all right.
So
Anyway.
where do you think you stand in terms of like you'll sign a contract or whatever, and you'll retain the rights to your likeness and things like that? Will it become the same with your voice? Like you can't use
Now-
the sound of my voice and my tone and my
Now more than ever, you need to have that as a separate contract.
Yeah.
That your voice is your rights. Your voice is your right. So your
But for
music, your writing, and your voice has to be held.
But for years, contracts have had in there that they have the right to your likeness.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. But where does the voice sit in that? Like if someone does an impression of Jay-Z and does it on a dub plate, is that conflicting or breaching?
It'll just be called a sample, won't it? I guess.
But if someone has the same voice, if it is their authentic voice, then I don't know how you can litigate against that unless they use his name. They actually use his name.
Yeah.
If that's just your voice and that's how your natural voice stays, I don't know how you can really litigate against that.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Shine
the
and
world's gonna have to
Notorious
change. Yeah, the world's gonna have to change because of AI.
Because of AI, yeah.
Same like you think about it. We were talking about the one where you can type in and produce artwork. You cannot copyright anything that has been produced by AI.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So any images you produce in there, they're in a public domain. Anyone can go and get them. You can't copyright them.
Yeah.
Now I can download it and I can manipulate it and make it my version, but the actual that master copy that the AI has produced cannot be copyrighted.
Hence why
would
they
that
did
be the
it-
same with
Yeah.
the voice? If that AI can produce a
Yeah.
voice that sounds like Jay-Z, like Beyonce, and produce it exactly the same, is it? Does it own it? Does the AI own that version of that voice?
Yeah, I think these are all very difficult
The world's gonna have to
questions
change,
that
man.
are gonna be answered the more the AI
This
evolves.
is-
I would hate
this
to
is
be an
gonna be-
entertainment lawyer.
Yeah, this is going to be Napster Part 3. Watch what happens.
Facts, 100%.
Yeah,
You're right.
watch.
Napster,
Watch.
you know.
Watch.
Yeah,
Watch.
Napster.
Yeah, it is.
Well,
it
I suppose
is.
people like sports
Way
people,
back.
they have in their contracts sort of clauses about image rights. People like Ronaldo has a
That's it.
contract about like people using his image on things like Coke or whatever. He gets ched for that. And I'm guessing that's going to be even more so now with AI coming out and being able to mimic your voice and copy your face onto someone else. And look at ABBA. You know what I mean? The ABBA that had
The virtual ABBA,
concert.
yeah, ABBA,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? You know what I mean? I don't even know how many of them are dead already, but 4 of them on stage. You know what I mean?
Half Pipe. I think it was Half Pipe put in the chat something about telling Diesel to get a Michael Jackson dub plate by Monday. An AI Michael Jackson dub plate.
Imagine.
They're selling they're selling 2-pack tickets already. You joking?
Yeah, man.
Ready for the make it.
Boy. Interesting.
There'll be something on the
Interesting.
sample side of thing because I remember Cisco lost rights to his song, the Thong Song, because
That's
he
saying-
was
Song, didn't he?
living La Vida Loca.
That's it. Just that.
That
one.
he only said
Oh,
that one
yes,
phrase. He
yes,
lost
that's
most of the
right.
rights to the song.
That's right. Yes, that's right. I remember that.
So I'm guessing the voice.
Oh,
would
you're
be-
joking because he said living La Vida Loca. He lost
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Practically
yeah.
the whole song, yeah.
Yeah.
Ricky Martin gets
Oh,
a bag.
And that's his biggest tune. That's his biggest tune.
That's his only tune I remember.
Yeah,
You lot are brutal.
it's true. It's true, man.
Donk, 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 donk.
All right. Well, it is 4 minutes past 11, gents. So it is officially that. Who the hell is got bag of Chris or something? Who's yamming food?
Who you think?
Top tier shelling.
You know what?
That's
Let me
who's
just
jamming.
mute him, man, because all I can hear is Chris, Chris bag munching.
Salt and vinegar smelling.
Chris crunching.
Salt and
munching.
vinegar smelling. Yo, drop a bomb for that. Drop a bomb.
Oh, boy.
That's all I got. Sorry.
The salt and vinegar smelling.
Top tier shelling.
Let me unmute him because all I could do was bare Chris bag. This
On the condenser mic, you know. You know what I mean?
I heard.
Like,
I could hear
heard
the
was,
sell by date. I could hear the sell by date. I bet you it was a Friday. It sounded like a Friday. Look it up, man.
Oh, no. You know what? For that, you need to check. Oh, man.
If y'all don't get that
Look at the
clear,
date. Look at the date. I bet you it's Friday.
Nah, we need to
It
find
sounded
out.
Friday-ish, man. It sounded hella
they are.
Friday.
What are they? We need to
Hella
see.
Friday. Hella
Oh,
Friday.
my
Some name brand.
God.
What are they?
Oh
Where is
gosh.
the date?
What you eat? Hold them up. What you eating? What you eating? Hold them up.
The 26th of the 7th. Someone said
Curly what?
26th of the 7th.
That's them
When I'm
peanut things.
curly
innit?
something.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the peanut things, man.
Yeah, man.
They're like
26th of
peanut
July.
Wotsits.
Oh, it's a Wednesday. Them a Wednesday, Chris, man.
Look. Miffy Moment says, dip the Chris in the onken.
In the whale sperm.
The organic, yeah?
Organic, man.
The organic onken. The organic whale sperm.
Oh boy, the non-GMO whale sperm. You guys.
Yes, Miffy. Oh, gosh. All right, brothers, it's 6 minutes past 11. Diesel.
Yes, sir.
We have something going on this weekend, do we not, sir?
We do indeed. We got the old
Lord.
school hip hop raid train. Venue space in Lee. DJ Croc, Shorty Blitz, Friction, myself down there, 100% old
Not
school
Butch
hip hop.
Cassidy.
No, you're gonna be there though. But so
Handing out curlies.
Smelling like brutes.
I'll be brute smelling though.
I'll be brute
top
smelling.
tier shelling. Top tier shelling. So yeah.
Shelling.
So
Saturday.
what's the deal with tickets and all of that?
Buy them.
There's the link. Michibu has
There's
just
the
put the
link.
link in
Go
the
on,
chat.
Michibu.
Thank you, Michibu.
Big up,
There you
Michi.
go. That's it. I mean, I think there's a couple of early bird tickets left. Otherwise, just get your tickets, come down, strap up your Tims,
Support
bring
the
a
team.
little rag to wipe your head off. And,
It's gonna be a
Listen,
thing, man.
ladies,
Bring your rag.
wear your flats. Yeah, we
Straight, man.
done tell you, wear your flats. All right.
Bring your
And
bar
if you're
towel.
wearing a dress, put cycling shorts underneath because there's going to be some records you might get pitch over. You get me? We've seen it happen.
We have seen it happen. We have seen it happen.
Put your cycling
Oh
shorts on.
gosh. You don't know how tempted I was to share that video, Friction.
I'm glad you didn't. Because it ended at the right time.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. So yeah,
And if
this.
you're traveling from the Midlands, there's a minibus going from Wolves as well, central location in Wolves. So
What's the deal with that Friction? So people want to get on that. How do they get at that? How do they get on that?
Go to djfriction.com/events and all the information's there, and the link for the tickets is on there as well. So if you miss that link, go to djfriction.com/events. There's a link for the minibus and a link for the tickets as well.
Okay.
But the cut-off point for the minibus is Wednesday.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go, people. That means
So
you
book
lot are
your
getting
seats.
first dibs on the teats who's looking to come up from the Midlands. And if enough heads are in the place, I think we're probably going to be doing a filming for the Soundcheck video this weekend. All right. So if you want to be in the video,
Soundcheck.
yep, Soundcheck. If you want to be
Soundcheck.
in the
Really
Soundcheck
Soundcheck.
video, then be in the
Don't
place
play it in
this
your neck.
Saturday.
And everybody's welcome.
For the blondes
bald
and the
heads, the gingers, the hot gal, the mingers.
Especially the mingers.
Yeah, we should do a version where everyone raps someone else's verse and just flip it. And then we want to do a posse collaboration on Croc's verse.
Dope, mate. Dope,
Like
dope,
when-
dope,
like-
dope, dope.
Yeah, man.
Like when Busta Rhymes used to do what was his verse? I think that he used to have people come on YouTube and spit.
Oh
one of
yeah,
his-
yeah,
Oh,
The high
Look at me,
one.
Look at me now. Look at me now.
yeah.
Yeah. That
we
was
should
that
do
was
that.
funny.
That was a funny. Oh yeah, that was funny-ish, man. Straight.
But let's see what happens. See if the
So yes, it be in the place this Saturday because it's going to be top tier shellings. This Saturday, as Diesel says, myself, Mr. Diesel, yeah, we'll give you a $5 later, Butch, for that. It's copyrighted.
For what? What's you got money for?
Because I said top tier shellings, he's looking like. So
No,
I said, yeah.
I'm wondering if could get away because I'm at the club. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me with copyright. I thought those were copyright noises.
No.
Oh, right.
noises.
Oh, okay.
Trademarks, top tier shelling.
So,
Every time
yeah.
I use it now, I have to pay him.
Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, this Saturday, myself, Mr. Diesel, Shorty Blitz, and of course Friction, and we will be recording for the video of the real Soundcheck dub play, which you heard last week. All right, so that's all happening this Saturday. Cut off Wednesday for those looking to come up from the Midlands. Check out Real Friction. Is it therealfriction.com?
No, djfriction.com.
DJ Friction
events.
Yeah. There you go. All right, and I think that is it, fellas. When are we streaming next? Dave Knight, when are you up next, brother?
Pop-ups, but you can catch the flavor at caramelradio.com.
All right, and there's the website link on the screen. Friction?
Wednesday, Old School Hip Hop Raid Train, and then Friday, Frickstate Mixtape Show.
What time?
Raid Train, usually I do the 10 to 11 slots, and then the Frickstate Mixtape Show is 8 till 10.
Both on Twitch, yeah?
Yeah.
Boom. Grown folks.
Thursday, I'm going to be on Twitch probably from 8 to 10. Saturday, I'll be on Digital Soul Radio from 8 to 10 in the morning. No, from 10 to 12 in the morning. And on Friday the 3rd, I'll be at Bar Palazzo, 3 to 6 Church Road in Crystal Palace from 8 to 11. Come down, have a bite to eat, have some drinks, and catch the vibe.
All right, so let me just say, for those who's looking for the next One Nation will not be back this Friday. So we're taking a couple of months out. It's been a hard. Let me just say, it's been a hard start to the year. Obviously, we lost one of the One Nation family, Busy Fingers, at the start of the year, and then last week I found out that we actually lost someone else from One Nation. Some of you might have been there when at the very first One Nation we did, when we came out of lockdown, and it was big because we were coming out of, it was the first one since coming out of lockdown, and there was a friend of mine who came over from America for it, and she actually flew in that same day. So some of you might remember she was there, Drea, and unfortunately she passed last week as well. Yeah, so we've lost two people just this month alone. So I want to say rest in peace to Drea, and all my thoughts really are with her children. So it's been a tough one. So we're gonna take a little time out from One Nation, and we should be back around about maybe March or April. Yeah, so don't look for us this Friday. But Grown Folks is the place to be this Friday. So I'm looking to be there, roll up there as well, hold a drink and hold some tunes. So Grown Folks, just give us those details one more time, please, brother. This Friday.
Yeah, this Friday, the 3rd, I'll be at Bar Palazzo. It's at in Crystal Palace on 3 to 6 Church Road in Crystal Palace. I'll start spending from 8 to 11. So come on down.
All right. Well, I'm going to be there, and I hope to see as many of you there as possible this Friday, and Saturday then at the venue space for the Old School Hip Hop Raid Train in person. All right. Okay. For the rest of the schedules for the week, Butch Cassidy, please.
Not streaming this Wednesday, so Sunday 7 till 9 on the B-side Soul Sessions.
Believe me, y'all want to catch that. Butch just shows his ass. I'm gonna tell you.
Ew! I don't want to see that.
I'm gonna say that again. I'll give you a British pause, yeah, because I know what you meant. It's a British pause, yeah.
All right. Okay. Technical.
Yeah, I'll be back on Thursday. Having missed last week, Thursday and Friday. Friday I'm going to cover the double bill. Pardon?
Are you showing your
batty? I ain't showing no batty. I'm not. You know what I mean? Just for full disclosure, I will not be showing any batty. Thank you very much. It will be a batty-free zone. Thank you very much. Yeah, 10 p.m. both nights, Thursday night, Friday night, 10 p.m. Buddha Palm TV on Twitch.
All right, boom. And Fire Diesel.
As long as my amp doesn't blow up again, I'll be on tomorrow, Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Old School Light Request Show. Wednesday, Old School Hip Hop Raid Train. Any other days, random pop-ups, all on Twitch.
Okay, fantastic. And I shall be back tomorrow, 7 p.m. I haven't done a Tuesday evening stream for a long time because it's been a lot this week.
I just see Ian Morland's comment, sorry.
Showing back on his OnlyFans. Thank you, Ian Morland.
I'll make a raise on that, that's some niche shit, you know what I mean?
Thank you, Ian.
And people go to sleep, tonight, Ian. People go to sleep and shit.
I was just thinking, we were talking earlier on about visualizations that traumatize us. Thank you, Ian. Thank you.
I think we want to know how Ian knows that.
I was about to ask the same question.
VIP membership.
We didn't know this, Ian.
Platinum membership.
Just move on, man. Sleep my batty out of this thing.
Ian, expose anyone who sends you a DM. Ask you for the link.
Bye, everyone.
Ian, anyone who asks you for the link, expose them. You're gonna get some DMs, yo. Send me the link, bro.
Bare DM traffic.
Pure whispers. Oh, bro, send me that link, man.
Hey, son, I got that hot shit.
I hear.
Anyway,
I hear Tech got that crack.
He got that crack.
Croc, just push go. I need to go. Otherwise, I'm drawing for my case. You lot are on some. You lot all need a British pause right now. A British pause. Pause.
People. Thank you so much, people. Catch the replay on YouTube, Spotify, and Mixcloud. We're out. Thank you. We're outie.
Oh no.